Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the HPC CW-20FM. This is a Sargent Double Angle Cutter for Blitz, for the Blitz machine. So the Blitz machine has a number of different cutters that are available with or for the machine, and the different cutters are required because the cuts on the key are dimensionally different. What I mean by that is how thick of a cut is cut into the blade, into the blade of the key, the angle at which it is cut, and then what the root of that cut will look like. So there are several different cutters available for the Blitz machine, and let's take a closer look at those different cutters. Now, on the page in the website that we have here, and this will probably look different by the time you're seeing it, we're looking at a 76-degree angle, double angle, flat mill tooth for Sargent and Welch large pin locks. Let's take a look at the document called Manual. This is the manual for the Blitz machine or the CodeMax, and we can search for the 20FM cutter, and you will see the cutter and how it's different from, say, the CW14MC, very typical cutter. This may be the cutter that actually comes with the machine. Don't quote me, I just simply don't recall. And my machine is a whole 20 feet away from me, too far to walk and check. So you'll see how the dimensions on this cutter are all shown. Now this is derived from the requirements of what the key system itself would need for you to accurately cut a key. Now you can pull up the depth and spacing chart of your manufacturer's equipment. This happens to be for those Sargent and Welch locks, and determine from the angle of cut and the width of the flattened area at the root of the cut of the key, okay, and all of the other dimensional requirements to determine if that's the accurate cutter as well. Well, the truth of the matter is HPC has already done that work. So if you were to click on the manufacturer's page, you'll be able to pull up the code card cross-reference link, and that would take you to their depth and spacing charts. Depth and space data by manufacturer or by number. Let's just pull it up by manufacturer. 201 pages of this document. I'm going to search for 20FM. And I will find 4 instances of that cutter coming up. Sargent large pin, Sargent large pin multiplex IC, Sargent old large pin, and Welch large pin. So they've already done the work. They give you the depth and spacing charts necessary. They tell you what Blitz card to use. Okay. They tell you what cutter to use. And what's really neat about HPC is the amount of work that they've done. And what I mean by the amount of work done, I pull up just a generic card from the site, and this is what their cards will look like. Well, they've given you the depth and spacing charts, and they're telling you, this is a punch card, but they would be telling you on your cutter what cutter to use, etc. So that you're able to, once you have the card and you know what cutter it is that you're using, you're able to accurately produce your keys. And that's what this cutter is actually used for. What's obviously nice about the entire system is that you get, with the Blitz system, you get the ability to operate the machine in a very modular or universal fashion, with the advent of not only their cutters but their jaws as well. You can easily cut and source or originate what would be an original key for a system, and those cutters obviously go hand in hand with the ability to do that. Now there are a lot of cutters that are available. In that document instructions down here will allow you to search all of the data that they've accumulated to be able to tell you the manufacturer, the card number, and the cutter required for it. So before you do a job, you'll be able to say, well, someone's going to bring me some, Russwin D&H pre-system 70 material. I'm going to have to key some D and H class pre-system 70. I know, do I have the C42 and do I have the CW90MC? And what does that asterisk mean? These cutters are not supplied with the 1200 CMB. So be mindful. You'll be able to determine, and most certainly the CW20FM is not a cutter that's included with the machine. Okay, so let's take another visual tour of the cutter itself. And here it is, removed from the packaging. HPC is a good, certainly a good quality company. What I mean by that is the world of locksmithing is a highly technical world that goes back not only decades, but literally centuries. Now, not that a modern locksmith is going to be dealing with locks from 1875. Well, modern pin tumbler technology certainly existed then. Lever tumbler locks certainly existed then and still do today, certainly. HPC does a reasonable job at being able to supply you with that information. They are a company in a highly technical universe dealing with locksmiths, and they are relied on to provide this information because, the locksmiths will say, I've got to cut Sargent large pin. What cutter do I need? And their ability to reply to that is crucial to not only the locksmith's success, but obviously theirs. And this is what that looks like. Okay. Now, back to the depth and spacing chart data. Oh, actually, back to the instruction manual showing the dimensional properties of that cutter. Not much I can really measure here or need to, but the thickness of that cutter is, they say 0.375, they mean 0.375. That is absolutely spot on. Okay, these cutters are not inexpensive, that is to be sure. You'll need to calibrate your machine anytime you change these, and as they wear out as well, you'll need to recalibrate the machine, or wear with use. You would obviously be calibrating. Small little instruction format here. Do be mindful that the thread on your Blitz machine is a reverse thread, so if it's not lefty-loosey, righty-tighty to remove a cutter, so be mindful of that. You want to loosen it in the what would be otherwise the right hand orientation because of that reverse thread, because as the machine rotates, it doesn't want the cutter to loosen, so that's why there's a reverse thread to make that work. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the HPC products we sell, but a link to those depth and spacing charts, other encyclopedic documents that are there, as well as a link to the manufacturer's website. Any questions on the HPC CW-20FM Sargent Double Angle Cutter? And as you study, just to finish this off, as you study the different cutters that are available and look at their dimensions, the cutters are not interchangeable at all. You can expect your pinning to not work correctly if you don't have the right cutter. And while you might only have one job of doing Sargent, you at least possess a tool, a Sargent large pin. You at least possess a tool that will allow you to do it, with the possible requirement of, your jaw set and, of course, your cutter. So any questions on the CW20FM or any other HPC product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.